If you're walking with a weapon and the cops instruct you to put the weapon down, just put the weapon down and talk later. Maybe you're peeling a potato. Explain it to the cop later.
But I think there's something to highlight, and these things happen all across the. Of course, it happens, and it gets pointed out by the media. You can ask yourself why. It's another question you can ask yourself, and also the timing. You can ask yourself some question about that. But this was not highlighted by the media as it should be, because as you could also read, the manslaughter charges were dropped for this guy, for Ryan. Guys, if you would imagine, just go watch the video. It's very graphic, of course, but you will see that there is no kind of hesitation from the moment he walks towards the guy and pulling out the tool.
Yeah.
All right, we can ask ourselves, what would be the reason why they dropped this charge? RJ, as you as a someone who knows some thing or two about the law, not because you're you're a felon, but because you are on the other side of the law. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, yeah. So thanks for clearing that up. Yeah.
Uh, I I'm like the the LeBron and Dwayne Wade picture where you see
Yeah,
LeBron
the
dunking.
alley oop, the
I
alley
did
oop,
it
and we,
myself.
yeah. So you
I
sell, yeah,
continue, sorry, but
yeah. So I think I said this in a previous show as well. Can recall right now, but the police officers are given more flexibility and leniency when they resort to violence, aggression,
Mhm.
because by law, they are allowed to use aggression as long as it's necessary and proportionate. But with regards to proportionate, you often see that they give, they, and with they, I mean the law and judges as well, they allow a certain level of this disproportion, or at least what may seem disproportionate to us as civilians.
Mhm.
Why? Because police officers are, you want, so every country needs police officer. The article you talked about at the beginning of the show clearly shows it, that even pro, what's the movement called, the pro defund the police,
Mm.
pro
Defund the police.
defund the police politicians,
You mean this guy?
yeah,
Soto.
the
Let's see his
city
face.
council, yeah, who supposedly is pro the defund the police movement, still, can you scroll up, still asked the LAPD for extra patrols when his car broke down and he was left in the parking lot overnight. So when ish hits the fan, you need police. Everyone knows that. So, and you want the police in that particular time, if you to act without hesitation. You don't want cops to be hesitant when they act. So therefore, judges and the law allows more leniency to the aggression. So it's not because the person over uh, or acted in a way that to us civilians seem disproportionate, automatically means that a judge will also find it. Because if your cops start thinking, oh, I want to do this, but will this be proportionate? I want to act like this. I want to maybe shoot two or three. Will that be proportionate? Should I keep it to two? What about three? if you have cops thinking like that, they will act less convincingly, and by doing so, maybe create more harm. So, did I think that the cops in the story you told uh, acted in a proportionate manner? I definitely do not think so, in my opinion,
Mhm.
because the guy was in a wheelchair. He did have a weapon. He did have a weapon. So by doing so, no. So let me. That's step one. He did have a weapon, but I don't think the cop acted in a proportionate way. Second of all, I think, as we always say on this show, you're free. You have the freedom to choose, but you're not freed from the consequences. If you're walking with a weapon and the cops instruct you to put the weapon down, just put the weapon down and talk later. Maybe you're peeling a potato. Explain it to the cop later. But if you persist, and remind you, these field officers, they're oftentimes overworked and underpaid, working double shifts. Imagine, oftentimes their family lives are not in harmony because they work so many long hours. They already have a lot of things going on in their head. So please help them not to make a mistake. Put the weapon down. And as you can see from this from this example, as well as the stats we showed, police brutality is an issue on itself. It's a discussion in itself,
That is
because you see it all over all across the board, even when we're talking about disabled people.